All right, what's happening? We're back. Today's lesson could get you on the path to earning affiliate commissions literally within days. I'm not kidding, days. I actually know one of my students making 6 figures a month doing exactly what I'm about to show you. So make sure you stick with me. Also, starting to get a lot of good feedback on this series, so we're still going for now. This is part 5. Make sure you see the previous 4 parts first. Starting to get a lot of good feedback on this series, so we're still going for now. If you haven't watched parts 1 through 4, then what the hell are you waiting for? Go watch those first. Today, we are going to learn how to have instant authority. You would understand why authority is so important if you watch part 3. Really important to understand if you don't want to be a broke affiliate marketer. I mean, look, if you're comfortable being a broke SEO dude or girl, just skip that video. No problem. Seriously though, on a serious note, it is very important. It's a very important ingredient to understand when it comes to getting organic traffic. But to recap, if you don't have an authoritative site, you aren't going to rank anywhere in Google for any term that matters at all. Sure, you may be able to rank for some stuff which, maybe we'll pay you enough to be able to buy you half a cheeseburger. But look, we're here for the big bucks. We are trying to build 7-figure commission earners here. The problem is that if you try to build that authority yourself, you are literally taking years and years of work. Not just the time frame of the years of work, but the actual man hours, like thousands of man hours. And then add on the investment side of things, you're talking likely well in the 6 figures or even 7 figures and beyond. In the end, it's going to take you multiple years. It's going to take you thousands and thousands of hours of work and hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions. Ain't no one got time for none of that. I say we just skip all that baloney and we get instant authority with a snap of a finger. How's that sound? I'm guessing you said good, at least in your head. I can just picture someone sitting in Starbucks watching me on the thing, and they're sitting there and they listen, they hear that, and they're like, "Sounds good, Greg. Greg, sounds good." Meanwhile, everyone's looking at them like they're crazy. All right, let's stop fucking around here and let's get to the meat and potatoes. Okay, so there's 2 main ways that I use to get instant authority. The first method is called Parasite SEO, which is pretty popular because it works really well. This is when you basically get an article on an authoritative site and then you monetize the article. For example, if you got an article on Forbes.com, they have a large amount of authority, right? They have like 1.6 million referring domains. Well, if you watched the other parts of this series, well, you understand what that can do for us. It can basically get us on the first page for whatever we want, mixed with whatever you learned in part 2 of this series with the on-page SEO. Now, there's ups and downs to Parasite SEO, and we'll talk about all that shortly. Also, many sites do charge you to post an article on their site, but I'm going to give you a free one that is working better than anything right now. So hold tight. Now, the second way to get instant authority is by buying age domains. And age domains are domains that were previously owned, but the owner didn't renew them for whatever reason, whether it is because they forgot to renew the domain, or they went out of business, or they died and they can't renew the domain. For whatever reason, the domain was not renewed. But all of the links that are pointing to that domain generally stay there. So that means that domain still has power. We just get the domain, we put up a new site, and boom, our domain has instant authority. Now, for the age domains, you have to pay for those, but the pro is that it's your property and you have total control. So that means you can do whatever you want. And I'll tell you, I've personally made multiple millions of dollars with age domains, so keep that in mind. There is a lot you need to know to make it work correctly. And I am confident that I can show you because I've taught hundreds of students how to do the same who have crushed it with this method. But before I teach that part, I need to make sure the interest is there, as it is very in-depth. I have to teach you, where to buy them, how to buy them, how to analyze them, how to set them up. And I can teach you all types of tricks that can, make them perform better and more powerful. So just throw me a comment below if that's something you want to learn, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as well. For today, we are going to stick to Parasite SEO, since there is currently a killer free way to do it, and because the age domain route is kind of a little more complex, so it just takes a little longer to explain. Now, I'm going to start with 2 free ways to do Parasite SEO, as I think that's what most people want to do anyways. They want the free way. And the first way isn't nearly as sexy. It's about as sexy as your 90-year-old grandma in the pink string bikini that we talked about earlier in the series. But if you put in time with this first method, it can really pay off like crazy. And don't worry, I'll get to the super easy one in just a minute, so bear with me. Now, the idea here is for method one is to build up an author profile across the web. Now, the thing with this one is it requires some work and it requires some time. And you would start on sites where they accept almost any articles and you work your way up the ladder. For example, you may start your authorship on somewhere like articlecity.com and you create a couple high quality articles and then you move on to the next site. So some other examples are articlecube.com, where you can do the same thing. And then you got superarticles.com. Just note that's SOOP, not SUP, among others, right? And you can do research. There's tons of sites where you can write for and start building up your authorship. Now you have an author presence on the web and you can use this to your advantage. So when you go to apply for the big sites, I'm talking about places like Forbes.com or Money.com or BusinessInsider.com, they're likely going to ask for references where, other articles you've written, and you can give them a whole slew of articles that you writ across many sites that has your author box there and shows your authorship. And the more sites that you've written for and the better your articles are, the higher your chance is of being accepted on these larger sites. And now, if that happens, you have a lot of power in your hands. If you get accepted to places like Business Insider and Forbes, among others, you can do a lot with that, okay? And number one of the big things you can do is you can leech off their very high authority by ranking pages, of course. You can use them as your Parasite SEO. But number two, you can also get very high authoritative links and point them to wherever you want so you can boost properties, whether it's a client or an affiliate site or an affiliate page, whatever it is, you can use those properties to your advantage in a major way. Now, I just caution that you not do too much of that the first few articles, at least. If you get into somewhere like Forbes or somewhere like that, focus on writing just really high, super quality content first. And then after that, you can kind of, start working in like articles that are more monetized, and you can start working in links to clients or links to your affiliate sites, and you can really do a lot there. Also, people pay a lot of money for articles on Forbes and Business Insider and things like that. I know people would pay upwards of $2,000. So keep that in mind. All right, so that's the less sexy way to do this. Let's go to Freeway number two. Now, this is the opposite, right? It's super simple and it's extremely effective right now, and it is called LinkedIn Pulse. These are ranking better than just about any other Parasite SEO pages outside of the big ones like Forbes and, Business Insider and things like that. You're seeing these everywhere right now, and they're completely free. Now, to get an article on LinkedIn Pulse, you simply bring up your LinkedIn account. So here I am right here in my account. And what you want to do is just click on Write Article. Now, when you click on that, you're going to have a couple options. If you have multiple people in your LinkedIn, I'm just going to choose Greg Morrison. I'm going to click Next. And now what we can do is either upload an article, or we can do it our title here and create our article right here. And then you basically go to next and you publish it, and then bam, you have your LinkedIn Pulse. I actually did one of these LinkedIn Pulses for the Beginner SEO series. And if you didn't watch that series and you're a beginner, you can find it on this channel. It's in the playlist called Beginner SEO Series. Go figure. And I show step-by-step how I rank a website for the term Landenberg SEO to the number 4 spot on Google. And the only reason it's number 4 is because 3 of my other properties are number 1, number 2, and number 3, one of which includes a LinkedIn Pulse article. Then my properties are also number 5, number 6, and number 7, so I have the top 7 spots. All right, so let's check that out really quickly. So if we go to Google and we type in Landenberg SEO, we're going to see that this is my site at number 1, did this site a while ago. This is my site at number 2 with the F word in it. Now, one of the reasons I created this site was to do a test to see if Google would allow me to rank with the F word in my domain name, and they did at the number 2 spot. Number 3 is the site that I did in the series. So actually, my LinkedIn Pulse was above this. Now it switched places, but this is the site that I covered in the series where I show you from step 1 all the way to the last step how I got it to rank here every step of the way. If you're a beginner, that's a very good series to watch. I go through all the steps for that. Number 4 is my LinkedIn Pulse. Number 5 is my YouTube. Number 6 is my site again, which we saw above. Number 7 is one of my sites again we saw above. And then the competition, of course, is below me. So we take up the top 7 spots. So of course you can use LinkedIn Pulse for, your affiliate stuff. And I've seen people ranking for all types of affiliate terms, probably making a good amount of money with LinkedIn Pulse, but you can also use it for reputation management, right? If you have clients, for example, if I had a Landenberg SEO client, I did that article, that's just another spot on page 1 for that client. So LinkedIn Pulse is a very good tool to use for clients, reputation management, and things along those lines. So if you don't have a LinkedIn account, you can use someone else's, but if that's not an option, I would say the next best option is medium.com. Now, medium.com isn't as good as LinkedIn Pulse. LinkedIn Pulse is exploding right now, ranking like crazy, but medium.com would definitely be the next best option for free. Of course, you can also go the paid route. And I'll give you one of the better performing Parasite paid sites right now is a site called JPost. You can get articles for about $200 last time I checked. If you're interested, hey, I'll even give you the contact. Here it is right here. All right, so the contact is right here. It is evgenym@jpost.com. Again, evgenym@jpost.com. And that's, of course, if you want to reach out and get a paid article on JPost, which also do very well right now. Expect to pay about $200. That's what I was paying. I don't know if prices have gone up or down since I last ordered, which is probably a few months ago, but that is the contact there. All right, so this video is getting way too long. Just know that I've made a lot of money from Parasite SEO. I've got students that have made even more, again, upwards of that 6-figure range. But my main squeeze is using those age domains. I personally like to own the properties that I have, so I have full control. Again, if you're interested in learning the age domains, you have to comment below, or I'm not teaching it, right? Just it's too in-depth. So if the interest isn't there, I just won't teach it and we'll move on to a different topic. All right, I'm out. It's time for pickleball. Peace.